Okay, we have head coach Ben Hallett, senior guard Dan Monteroso with us tonight. Coach Hallett, if you could talk about tonight's game, then we'll open to questions.
I think first you got to credit Wheeling. They played a heck of a game and they were ready to play today. And they shot it well, and obviously we did not shoot it well. We were 6 of 31 from 3, and I thought we got good looks. They weren't going down for some reason, but that's beside the point right now. I got 3 seniors that are hurting pretty bad right now. That's kind of who I feel sorry for, those 3 guys, because we wanted to go out and play for those 3, and it's not like guys weren't trying hard though. It's maybe they were trying too hard at times, and I don't know. I think it's something that we got beat by a really good team, but we've had a history in the past of, losing maybe the last game of the season or second to last game of the season and going in the tournament and really dialed in. And I'm hoping that's the case with this year's team. Is we lose to our arch rival Wheeling on our home court, and we go into the conference tournament ready to play. And I think it starts in practice. I didn't think we had real good practices leading up to this. We've got some guys that need to be reevaluated, and they need to practice a little bit harder. And hopefully this will actually be a blessing in disguise. This loss, and maybe we'll get redialed back in and go over some of the little things that West Liberty basketball is all about, and correct those and come out in the conference tournament ready to play.
Boswell, his speed he seemed really quick in that first half. He jumped. Was his speed a problem in that first half? Not a problem, but
yeah. I mean, he always presents a problem to us just because he's a good basketball player.
Right.
And obviously, I know him well. I recruited him, but it's not just so much him. It's a little bit of what we were doing. We weren't getting back, and we weren't protecting the basket, protecting the paint. And when you expose the basket to a team like Wheeling Jesuit that's got a Preston Boswell, that's got a Pat Mose, that's got a Haywood Highsmith, it's dangerous, and we paid the price for it tonight. So maybe I should have got out of it a little bit sooner, but we didn't press much in the second half. We actually went zone, and they busted a couple threes when we went zone. So, but hats off to them. You got to give them credit. It's not just so much us. You got to give Danny and Wheeling credit.
It did seem like every time you guys would make a run that they had an answer.
Yeah.
And which again, that like you said, it's the mark of a good team, and they've been a good team for a long time, just like you guys.
Yeah, they've got good players, and when they got in trouble, they started to do a lot of power posts with Mose and Highsmith, and we put Dan on him, but he was in a little bit of foul trouble, so we didn't want to commit another foul, which would probably put him on the bench. And at that point in time, he was really our only offense, so we had to be careful with that, but we'll address that, and we'll get better defensively in tournament time. And I cannot wait to get back on the practice floor on Monday and get after it and really start preparing for whoever we play come Friday.
Using this as a learning experience.
Yeah, I think, and we don't watch as much game tape on ourselves as we probably should. We focus more on the opponent because we know how we're going to play. We play one way. But there's some things, X's and O's, that we need to correct with this, and there's some things also that need to be addressed effort-wise. Running back, not at 80%, not at 90%, but running back at 100%, and that will be addressed. And again, maybe this is a blessing in disguise.
Dan, obviously a disappointing game tonight, but looking back, terrific career. Could you talk a little bit about last game at the ASRC, last home regular season game at the IRC, kind of what that meant to you here?
Just want to first off thank Coach Hallett for going out on a limb and trusting me and coming back and playing basketball, and it means a lot. I'm happy he did it. I'm happy I met the guys on this team when I did it. But with that being said, we had a good year, 25-2. Probably a lot of people didn't think we were expected to do that, but this one hurts, and it's going to take me a while to get over it.
Meininger, was he injured in the second half?
I think he got injured toward the end of the second half. I
He
think
was either limping, I saw him
Yeah.
limping at one point, then I saw him grabbing his ribs at another point.
I think he cramped
Okay.
in the second half, towards the end there, but I think he played the majority of the second half injury-free. I think he was okay, but I think towards the end he started cramping on the rundown.
What's the schedule now in terms of getting ready for touring games? This is the longest break you guys have had in quite a while. You haven't played until Friday.
Yeah, I think maybe something that this team needs is a break from basketball, a break from me, a break from each other. But like I said, I also think we need the practice. Like, I'm a firm believer you play the way you practice. And we've been a pretty good practice team the majority of the year. So I think, especially for my seniors, they probably can't wait to practice. I think I have a couple other guys that should really want to practice because I don't think they played their best this game.
Dan, when you saw the other, some of your other supporting cast struggling with shooting, did you kind of try to take the ball, try to take it more into your own hands? Did you feel yourself doing that at all?
In a little bit. Like I said, one thing I've known to be pretty good at scoring a basketball.
Mm-hmm.
And, the guys needed me at night and they leaned on me, just a couple shots here and there, wish I would have went in, and a couple rebounds and missed box outs and on defense, just frustrating stuff, It's, they leaned on me. I like to think I'm one of the team leaders, and, I didn't do a good enough job leading down in the second half, and that's a little frustrating myself.
And throughout this extended run of success that this program's had, one of the keys is you guys have always seemed to come up with a key loose ball. You've always seemed to come up with a key rebound. Did they get more of those today?
Yeah, and they won the 50-50 battle. And that's something that we stressed in shoot-around is we got to win the 50-50 battles, which in the first game when we played them down there, I thought we did. In this game, I think they came in with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. And this game is very, very important to us, but it was probably more important to them in terms of regional rankings. So I think that showed, and that's on me because I didn't have our guys ready. But as a player, I was trying to think, how could you not be up for this game? Like, how could you not go after 50-50 balls when you have, I don't know, it's 2,000 people watching you play and cheering and screaming? How could you not be ready for that? And I don't think some of our guys were. It boggles my mind sometimes.
This is twice now that I think they've held you in the 80s, 70s. Is it anything they do, or is it just you guys know each other so well?
I think Danny does a good job defensively. I think he's one of the best defensive coaches in the country, and that's a credit to him. And it doesn't hurt when you got 6'7", 6'6", 6'5", and can move. That doesn't hurt either. And then you put Boswell and Goddard, who have played a lot of games and know their system very well. That's going to make up a pretty good defensive team.
As you look forward to Charleston now, in the preseason, of course, everybody thought it was going to be you guys, Fairmont and Jesuit, in top three in some order.
Yep.
How do you handicap this tournament coming up?
I think we just try to remain sharp, and I don't want to sound too cliche here. We are who we are. Like, we're not going to go crazy and start changing things, just because we lost one game. We're still going to be up tempo. We're still going to try and press. We're still going to chase guys down from behind. We just got to be better at it than we were tonight, and that starts in the film room. And again, like I was telling these guys, it starts Monday or Tuesday when we go to practice.
Dan, what are your thoughts heading into the tournament?
A lot of you guys know the tournaments, the team that, is hot going in, and we got to get hot in practice, Fortunately, we lost last game season last year too, and, I remember Coach Allen and Coach Crouch really emphasizing, getting after it in practice, and we had real good practices leading up to that. And that's what we have to do, to go in there. We're going to be the #1 seed, and we got to go in there and we got to win 3 games in a row, and that's the plan.
Is this tournament wide open?
Heck yeah. I think, with us, Wheeling and Fairmont, obviously those are the front runners, and then when you have a UVA Wise who just beat Wheeling a couple weeks ago, and they beat Fairmont, the game after that, and that building's been known to cause teams problems down there. So this tournament's wide open, and it's going to be an all-out war to see who the champion is.
I know you can never really be certain, but what, in your mind, would you think you guys have to do in the tournament to be able to host the regional here?
Meaning as far as wins?
Yeah.
That I don't know. I haven't looked at the numbers too closely, as I probably should, but I think if we win 2, and obviously I think if we win the whole thing, I think we should host it, obviously. But I think if we win 2 games and advance to the championship, I think we should have a pretty good shot at hosting the regional, which, you know, we don't talk about goals or anything here. But, you know, as a coach and my coaching staff, I set out a goal to host the regional tournament because I think it's a huge factor in winning. If you can host this thing, it's a serious advantage in tournament play.